All right, everybody, I'm getting super close to releasing this software that I've made that is the most advanced projection-based training system out there, and I'm calling it FusionQ. You can actually go to fusionq.com right now and you can check out the drill editor and all this stuff. And in this video, I'm just gonna show you a demo of everything that is possible right now, and it's gonna be ready very shortly. All right, everybody, this is the app so far, super exciting. Before I dive into the drills and stuff, when you install this, it's several gigabytes, so you have to download several gigabytes worth. And it's because there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. And there's also a calibration process, which is a one-time thing based on your environment. I'm not gonna go into details about that, but essentially, when you set this up, let me make this a little larger so we can see what's happening here. You have a hardware tab. This is where you specify the overhead camera location. You can use a USB cam or an HDMI. All this stuff, by the way, is gonna be made really easy to use, especially if you're on online mode, because there's an AI integration that you can use to chat with a system that has access to your system specs. It can help you diagnose things and if things go wrong and all that good stuff. Particularly important for like the initial beta testers. Optional microphone. This is where your display is for your projector. It's just treated as another monitor. And we also have a ball detection model. Don't have to worry about that stuff just yet. And then the calibration process right here. It's a multi-part calibration process where you specify, where your rails are. The system needs to know exactly where the rails are. Like I'll show you just this one real quick. If I hit start, you'll see me there. But if I change to my table, we can see right here, it shows you the table, and then there's rail lines here. Mine's already calibrated, but if I hold shift and like the down arrow key, you can see it's actively allowing me to fine tune where the rails are, hit tab, move over, specify all four sides. You can rotate things if your camera's off axis or, all that stuff. So you just go through this, you specify your pocket locations. So like mark each pocket, that takes 2 seconds. Check ball detection to see if the base AI model is good enough at detecting your balls in your environment. If not, then we actually train a neural network. Yeah, I walk you through all this stuff. It's not that bad. The whole process like 40-50 minutes and it's one and done. All right, more on that in the future. Now, dashboard. Let's say you have it all set up. And let me switch myself back. And, there's going to be 2 different states, drills and games. For now, let's just focus on drills, and I'll show you how cool the drill system is. So for drills, your drills and community, there's 2 different tabs here. And these tabs, community becomes available if you play in online mode. You can also play this whole system offline. You just won't have access to other people's drills or the ability to publish your own drills that you created. And I'm going to show you real quickly, before we create our own, a couple of the different modes. And one of the modes that is really cool is called snooker. All right. So what's cool here is when you click on an actual drill, it shows you latest videos that anybody has created and uploaded and decided to share with the community of them attempting that drill. So in the future, there might be like 50 videos of people attempting this drill, maybe asking for feedback because you can comment, leave likes and all that stuff. It's like a social network. Now, if I hit edit drill, let me zoom out the UI so we can see the whole thing. You can see that we have the balls down here. We can just drag these suckers onto the table if we want. Now notice the snooker, the drill type is snooker drill. And so the way this type of drill is created is you have 1 object ball, 1 cue ball. And then you can have any amount of these asterisk balls. You can just drag any amount that you want. And you need at least 1. And the idea here is, for this particular layout, we can see we have multiple layouts all over the place. The idea here is you hit the cue ball into the object ball, this 1 ball, and the goal is to try to get the blocker balls between them. Snooker. Let me show you what this exact drill actually looks like in practice. All right, so here is that snooker drill mode. These, I have this in random mode, so essentially it's going to just randomly show me any of the layouts, no particular order. So here's the object ball, any ball goes there. All right, goal is get the 4 between the 1 and the cue. All right, that one's a very simple type of drill, although I jacked it up a lot when I first tried it. 50% blocked, although for all intents and purposes, it's fully blocked. Now, because I made it, it's not gonna make me shoot it again. It's gonna move on to another random. So, goal is to get those three between the object ball and the cue. Very simple. Another drill mode that I've created is called the wagon wheel drill mode. So if I click on this drill and hit edit, essentially, again, this is just one object ball. And let's say we want to focus on rail shots, right? Trying to really dial it in and on these rail shots at different angles. So the first shot is your zone 1 right here. That's where you go for your first shot. Zone 2, and by the way, we can move these all over the place and add as many as we want, wherever we want. Then you go to zone 2. If you miss it, it makes you redo it. So it makes you reinforce your learning until you get it right. And it tracks how many attempts and how many percentage that you made. Check it out. All right, so this is the wagon wheel drill mode. So you can see these are kind of hard to see. I have to make them a little bit more obvious, but here's the first one. Just gotta pocket this and make it. All right, so now I get to go to number 2. All right, number 3, so on and so forth. Very easy until you get to these outer ones. Oh, now I'm glad I missed because now I'll show you, it forces you to redo. Oh no, I just said a keyword. I literally just said redo. The system listens to that and it thinks I want to redo. But nonetheless, you get the point. Essentially, what we're just doing is going through the different spots, and then it forces you to reshoot that same spot until you make it, and it keeps track of all your stats here and also on the main stats dashboard, depending on if you're putting on a TV or a monitor, wherever. There's also a random drill mode. And so once again, this is just one object ball for this mode, and you can see we have a large cue ball. What's really cool is like whenever you place a cue ball, you can either be, hey, it has to be at this precise, small point, or as large as you want it. That means you could place this cue ball anywhere. And then this right here is the landing zone. And the system will just take the size of your landing zone. Like if you're really good, maybe it's small. And throughout each round, it will just randomly position this thing anywhere. So it's really cool. It's a concept called target pull, essentially. So let me show you that one real quick. So that right there is the layout for this one that I created. And what I do is I can put this cue ball anywhere in here to focus on a specific angle. Put the one ball here. Goal is, this is called target pull basically, to get the cue ball to end up here. So show me neutral. Okay, so if I hit a ball just like a nice neutral pace, it should end up here. Add right English. All right, let's try it. Oh, that was nice. Look at that. All right, so now we're going to try it again. Do a different angle. Oh, all the way back. Show me neutral. Add right English. Remove English. Okay, there we go. Hide cue ball path. Are you serious, Gary? Did you literally just miss redo? This allows me to repeat the same layout. So I can make my adjustments. It'll show me the same spot. I'm probably gonna miss it again. Come on, Gary, focus. That looks good. Oh, come on, dude, seriously? Oh. Now finally, let's just create our own standard run-of-the-mill multi-ball drill. So we click New Drill, the editor pops up, and what we can do is we can first specify we have the cue ball here. We can increase This, if we want, to have to allow people to really experiment with different angles, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to put this right here and then drag a one ball. Now what's really cool is we can assign the one ball has to go in this pocket, or we could do multiple. It's okay if it goes in that pocket too, or this pocket, whatever. There's a lot of different use cases. So we can also Control Z to back up. We can zoom in and out with the mouse scroll wheel and hold the space bar to pan around. Now, let's say for instance, at this angle, maybe we want to teach how to stun, right? To get position on a two ball. All right, so we're going to put this right there and bind it to that pocket. And maybe we're optionally going to have a landing zone. So we can have a landing zone that's a circle or a polygon. Let's try polygon, drag it here. What this means is this cue ball needs to land to gain shape or position acceptably on this two ball to get onto the three ball. Well, maybe the three ball will be all the way down here in this pocket. All right, so what's cool, maybe after the two ball, it has another landing zone to get position onto the three. So maybe this will be circle based and we'll make it pretty large because I stink. And then another thing we have to ask ourselves is, do you want the zone scoring to be strict or lenient? Strict means if I pocket this one ball and the cue ball ends up outside of it, then it forces you to restart and counts that round as a loss. Lenient means it could land here and it's still acceptable. So it's up to you based on, how you want to structure your drill essentially. Now, another cool thing is if you want to have stats projected right onto the table, there we go. We can just make this larger or whatever. So depending on the drill mode, it might be a streak-based stat scoring or, so this updates based on the type of drill. We'll leave this here. And then also, it's not really relevant for this particular drill, but you can add in a cue ball diagram, which allows people to specify English, hit locations, all that good stuff. So now that we have our drill ready to rock, there's some other features that are a part of this. I'll get into that later. Come over here. We're going to call this My Cool Drill. Hit enter. We can publish to the community right here. Leave a little description. Guess what? Anybody who has access to it now can download and play your drill. In the future, we're going to do multiplayer drills. Two people that are in different locations, part of the world, and it'll go back and forth. You'll be able to see their feed. Anyhow, let me show you this drill that I literally just created in action. All right, here's that drill I just created. Three ball goes here. All right, show me stun. Show me two rails. All righty. Turn on shaders. Check this out. Next shader. Woo! Alrighty. So these shader effects, there's 10 of them, and they change like the belt. It really doesn't serve a purpose, but it is cool. So cool. So in a few days, the actual first user of the system is going to be my brother, and we're going to be testing it out. I already have it working on a spare PC. There's going to be a lot more details about the requirements of the PC, but all in all, if you find used stuff, it'll be under $1,000 for sure. And that includes a used computer, a used camera, a used projector, if you know how to find the deals. So go to FusionQ.com if you're interested in this and just enter your email to be notified when it's ready. And start creating drills now and just let me know what you think. There's going to be so many different ideas people have, and I'm looking forward to integrating those in the system. I'll see you soon.